The J.I. Case Company, a pioneer in the development and manufacturing of farm equipment, presents Optimum Tillage. Just yesterday, the skill and industry of a farmer were measured by the precision with which he controlled the depth of his plow, by his success in burying field trash, by his patience with repeated tillage and cultivating operations. But over-pulverization of the soil destroys its structure, eliminates pockets that hold air and moisture. Too many trips across the field with a heavy tractor compact the soil, also mean wasted dollars. If today's farmer is to meet competition, he must combine the methods of the past with modern technology, a technology that has propelled man into the space age. A technology that has helped agriculture take giant strides forward. New farming concepts are being developed. New machines are being built. The modern farmer must learn a whole new vocabulary if he is to keep up with advances in hybrid seeds, better insecticides and herbicides, and new high-analysis fertilizers. But above all, he must cut his costs. Many farmers are cutting costs and increasing yields by practicing minimum tillage, combining trips across the field. Case specialists have worked closely with farmers to carry minimum tillage one step further to optimum tillage. To carry out optimum tillage, Case has developed the OT 250 chisel planter. It not only tills and plants in one trip across the field, but in addition, it applies fertilizer, insecticide, and herbicide. This is the key to the Case chisel planter. Chisel plowing. Conventional plowing and disking methods can be discarded when using this technique. The loose, porous seed bed prepared by the chisel plow is ideal for crop growth. The coarse soil structure plus a trashy surface of the row middles maintain better aeration, help withstand impact from raindrops, permit faster in-soak of moisture, and retard weed growth. This type of tillage is commonly known as mulch tillage. By practicing mulch tillage with the OT 250 chisel planter, planting time is cut to a minimum, yield is raised to an optimum. The Case chisel planter is the first machine to be completely designed for optimum tillage. The chisel planter itself is a high-speed, compact unit, easy to operate, easy to maneuver, but its greatest advantage is its ability to cut costs. The chisel planter has cut tillage costs for one Illinois farmer up to $8 an acre. At the same time, he increased his corn yield by almost 28%. He boosted his per-acre profit by about $29. Here's the experience that Harold Strand of Cordova, Illinois, had with his chisel planter. I have cut the number of tillage and planting trips in half, and my machinery operating costs have been reduced proportionately. By practicing optimum tillage with the chisel planter, Clyde Bailey of Oquawka, Illinois, had this experience. Alone, I chisel planted 450 acres in the same length of time that 3 men and 3 rigs planted the other 450 acres using conventional practice. The chisel planter will really cut down on machinery investment. Rough row middles retard weed growth too. The cost-cutting chisel planter was designed with versatility in mind, the right combination of equipment to meet each farmer's particular planting needs. Liquid herbicide tanks are mounted up front on the tractor itself. Easy to get to, less weight on the chisel planter. The herbicide control valve is conveniently located next to the operator. The liquid herbicide is applied through jet nozzles at the rear of the unit as the final operation of the chisel planter. The easy-to-reach dry fertilizer hoppers are located on the front of the chisel planter. These variable rate chain drive units are driven by a positive and accurate rubber-on-rubber wheel design. Like all units on the chisel planter, the fertilizer drive automatically disengages when the chisel planter is raised. The adjustable speed auger is trouble-free and extremely accurate. These units are made of corrosion-proof fiberglass. They can be easily tipped over for cleaning. Case worked closely with farmers in the field to learn exactly what they wanted in an Optimum Tillage machine. Some wanted to apply anhydrous as an inexpensive source of nitrogen. So Case made provisions for easy installation of an optional anhydrous tank on the unit. The versatile chisel planter then becomes an efficient anhydrous applicator. The rugged, efficient planter units are one of the big reasons for the success of the chisel planter. This unit is the proven Case K160. No floating plates to wear or shift. Units cannot tilt as they move up and down over rough terrain. An optional 1x10-inch seed press wheel presses the seed firmly in moist soil for rapid germination. The hopper design is a real time saver with its easy access to seed plates. No need to remove the seed. Just unhook the hopper and flip it over. Seed plates are easy to switch. No wrenches needed. The large press wheels on the planter unit are rubber convex and treaded for positive drive. Each planter unit is equipped with a fiberglass insecticide hopper. These chain-driven units are extremely accurate and easy to adjust. They can be equipped with a separator and an additional drive so that both granule insecticide and herbicide may be applied at the same time. The optional coulter attachment is a heavy-duty angle and bar steel frame. It's a versatile spring-loaded unit. Coulters can be spaced where desired. It is best to use the coulter attachment in wet soil or when there are many large dead stalks in the field. The base unit of the chisel planter is equipped with 15 shanks on 10-inch centers. 12-inch sweeps till all the ground to any depth up to 10 inches for planting or 15 inches for chiseling. The many units that make up the chisel planter were located with versatility and human convenience in mind. They are not only located in the right spot to do the best job, but they are easy to get to. Here's what Marion Gudeman of Winnemac, Indiana has to say about his chisel planter. It sure is easy to change the chisel planter for other operations. Just pull a few pins to drop the toolbar and planter units, replace the sweeps with spikes, and you're ready for fall chiseling. If you want, leave the sweeps on and you have a heavy-duty field cultivator. The components which make up the chisel planter make the machine the optimum answer for optimum tillage for most corn and bean planting conditions. Not only are acreage costs cut by one-trip tilling and the overall speed of the machine, but crop yields are increased. Today's farmer must be cost-conscious. He must buy and maintain a variety of implements. He knows it will cost him dollars to plow, dollars to disc, and more dollars each time he uses his drag harrow. And he still has to make another trip across the field to plant. Using conventional methods, by the time his crop is planted, he will have spent around $14 or $15 an acre. By using Optimum Tillage, he can cut this figure in half. Narrow row corn planting is growing in popularity throughout the Corn Belt. The chisel planter is designed to plant 4 rows, 6 rows, or even 8 rows in various row spacings from 20 inches up. Planters and shanks can be easily added and spaced on the chisel planter to give the farmer exactly what he wants and needs. The Case chisel planter didn't just happen. The engineers and technicians of Case have worked closely with farmers in the field. They learned the farmer's needs. They listened to his suggestions. The result? Well, here's what Frank Henry of Oneida, Illinois has to say. What appeals to me is the improvement in soil tilth because of less travel on the ground, which gives excellent germination and survival of population. I planted my beans in 8 20-inch rows and my corn in 4 40s. Lyle Paulson of Woodstock, Illinois, learned this about his chisel planter. Versatility is the word. I planted all 6 30-inch rows this year. Of course, you can plant any row spacing. I'm even using the unit less the planters and toolbar for summer fallow, and I'm drilling wheat and rye tilled with the same setup. It's also a real efficient anhydrous applicator, either when planting or chiseling. Versatility, efficiency, and speed of planting are built-in features of the Case chisel planter. Here's one situation where these built-in features really pay off. When a farmer plants 2 crops in a year, he needs the optimum in tillage. Speed of planting is of utmost importance if the best crop yield is to be realized from the second crop. Here, wheat is still being harvested while soybean planting is underway. Chisel plowing pulverizes the soil beneath the stubble. Roots are completely severed. The stubble holds moisture in the ground and protects the soil from compaction by rain, yet lets rain soak in. It also retards weed germination. A variation of this form of optimum tillage is the planting of silage corn after the wheat harvest. The corn germinates rapidly, and good silage crops have resulted even with limited summer rainfall. Case has worked closely with farmers in the field. They learned the farmer's problems, listened to his suggestions. New ideas, designs, and concepts were explored until the chisel planter became a practical reality. In addition to cost saving and one-trip tilling and planting, a chisel-planted crop results in excellent germination and greater survival of plant population. There's also better conservation of soil and water. Here's what Niall McCurdy of Alpha, Illinois has to say. My chisel-planted corn prevented runoff. We planted some contour and the unit works well. Germination was real good. Optimum tillage does not require as frequent cultivation as conventional practice. However, during the summer, optimum tillage may require some cultivating and spraying. These operations are easily handled with the new Case single gang cultivator. Chisel planting helps the soil to retain moisture, resulting in greater yields. This is the experience and future plan of Ted Funk of Shirley, Illinois. The chisel planter makes it possible to save and store moisture to the best advantage. We plan to put all of our corn in next year with the chisel planter. The chisel planter has brought about higher yields with less than normal rainfall. At least that's the experience of Herbert Dirksen of Maria Stein, Ohio. We are in near drought conditions this year, and my chisel planted corn looks better than conventional fields. I like the method. Many other farmers have found that the combination of concept, system, and machine that make up optimum tillage is bringing in greater yields at lower costs. The modern farmer who uses the optimum in advanced planting practices isn't content with second best in harvesting equipment. He wants every possible kernel from his bumper yield. Case know-how and experience are meeting these wants with a new full line of big capacity corn combines. Regardless of a farmer's planting practices, these rugged combines are designed to meet his particular needs. There's a 4-row corn head, a 3-row corn head for narrow rows, and a 2-row corn head for 40-inch rows. Whatever the farmer's needs, Case is on the job. After the harvest, it's time to prepare the soil for winter. First, the stalks are shredded for faster weathering. Then the second trip of the chisel planter across the field begins, this time to create pockets to store moisture and retard runoff. Here's the experience that R.L. Parsons of West Jefferson, Ohio had with his chisel planter. It's a compact unit. I tried it in fall plowed, spring plowed, and non-plowed ground. The corn in non-plowed ground is real good. Our soil is tight clay and waxy. Many farmers have already learned the story of the chisel planter firsthand. Many have read about it in agricultural trade journals. Stories on optimum tillage and the chisel planter have appeared in such publications as Farm Journal, Implement and Tractor, Successful Farming, Prairie Farmer, Farm Quarterly, and many, many others. Optimum tillage is a proven, highly successful form of minimum tillage. Costs are on the decrease, yields on the increase. But many other forms of minimum tillage are meeting with acceptance and success. For instance, cultiplanting, where a conventional corn planter is pulled behind a rear-mounted cultivator or field tiller. The case number 25 cultiplanter hitch eliminates operations such as disking and harrowing on fall-plowed ground. The speed of this method is advantageous when planting is delayed because of rain. It is particularly effective in loose, mellow soils. The unique number 25 cultiplanter hitch automatically unlatches when the cultivator is raised. This permits the operator to turn on a minimum of end rows. Then there's till planting with the K54 toolbar planter with its W profile openers. This machine shears off the tops of beds and plants in fresh, moist, weed-free soil protected from sun and rain. Dry fertilizer, herbicide, and granular insecticide attachments are available for the toolbar planter. Whatever minimum tillage system a farmer prefers, he will spend less time in the field, fewer dollars, and realize greater crop yields. But for the ultimate in minimum tillage, he should investigate optimum tillage. Optimum tillage, one trip across the field to till and plant. Less compaction, lower tillage costs, reduces soil losses. One trip to harvest the crop, more profitable yields. One trip to prepare the soil for winter, increased soil aeration, higher water intake, prevents rain and wind soil erosion. Optimum tillage and the OT 250 chisel planter are the results of case experience and know-how combined with the experience and know-how of farmers throughout North America. Whatever the job, whatever the need, there's a whatever the job, whatever the need, there's a world of difference in case.